Hey guys, it's Amber here. Thank you so very much for joining me back on my channel, Plan Aloud. And today we are going to be working in my budget planner. If you've seen my setup video, you'll see that I have changed a little bit of things about this because it was really tight on those 1/2 inch disc. So I decided to put them on metal disc, and I just did a haul. And this I bought specifically for my budget planner. I'm so happy with it. And if you're new here, welcome. I am no budget expert, but this is me growing and learning, not only on my own, but with you guys as well. And today I am going to be creating 2 different sheets for my budget planner. And if you guys haven't watched any of my videos, I decided to move my weekly receipts into my budget planner along with my packing sheets in there, like when I ordered anything, just so I would be able to check it off, make sure that it's all good. And I like to save my receipts just in case you need to return something. That is something I always learned from my mom. Save your receipts because you will thank yourself if you need to return a big purchase. I actually have something almost $100 that I need to return incredibly soon. So we are going to go to the section that has credit cards, and I am going to be creating a sheet to manage my credit cards. Granted, I've been on a journey for a while of paying my credit cards down, and I can say honestly in 2021 I did really good, and then Christmas came and I actually just didn't care, and I just bought people what I wanted to get them. I guess I was trying to spread some Christmas cheer, and it was cheery, that's for sure. So that's all I have to say about that, is it was cheery, and I'm glad I was able to do it. But now, and this is something I do every single year, I get my credit cards all the way back in order. And when I write out all my credit cards, guys, don't freak out. It's going to be a lot. I promise it's going to be so many. But the thing is, this is credit cards that I had by myself, my husband had by himself, and then the credit cards we have together now. So it's going to look like a lot. I understand, but it's okay. The thing is, you just got to get it under control, and it's okay. And I can say that over the last couple of years, like I said before, I am absolutely positively no expert. But what I can say is I really got a hold of my credit cards probably over the last, I say 2, maybe 2.5 years. And I did incredibly great, and I am so proud of myself. I had a horrible credit score, you know, like the embarrassing kind, like barely out of 600. Like, you can't do anything with that kind of credit score. You cannot get more credit, you cannot get, you know, a car, you cannot rent, you cannot get a home. You definitely can't do that. You get locked out of a lot of areas by just not having a good credit score, or even having enough credit. And honestly, this is something I'm teaching my son right now. Manage your money, take care of your money. You work hard for your money, so you should know where your money is going. And I'm just taking my credit journey, my budget journey, and I'm just digging a little bit deeper because I want to know where I'm spending my money. So first, drew my accesses, and I am going to put my credit cards up here, and I am going to put the months down this way. This is basically going to be me not only tracking and paying down a credit card, but when I pay off a credit card as well. And I've done this so many times before, I just never ever share it or shared it before. I always write it on scratch paper. I never have it super detailed or anything. but for me, this is something that has helped me. Hopefully it will help you. So with that being said, I am going to write the months down this way, and I'll be back. Right now I have 4 credit cards that are under $500. That's not their actual limit. That's just how much is on the cards. And so that's less than $2,000. So I want to pay that off by April of this year. I've done it before and I can do it again, and I know I will do it. And the best advice I can tell you guys is, once you're done paying off a credit card, like say you were paying like $50 on it in a month and you are done paying it, take that same $50 and move it to a different card, put it in your savings, and it's like it never, like that amount of money never changed. Like I always give the exact same amount of money for my credit cards every single month. So when I pay off a credit card, more money divvies out to the rest of my credit cards. Or if you have like a big item that you're still paying down, like a car, or maybe you have to buy a refrigerator or something, the same thing. You take that money and you put it on that bigger item so that it goes down faster. And I know they always suggest that you pay your highest credit cards off first, which I can definitely understand. But as somebody who is like lower income based off of like United States standards, sometimes that's not the easiest, and paying off your lowest one. I am going to divvy this out into 8 sections going across for all of my credit cards. I know 8 across sounds mad for amount of credit cards. But like I said, I've had some of my credit cards since I was 18 years old. I'm 37. If that's an indication of how long I've had some of my credit cards, which is actually so great for your credit health. And I'll be back. That's good. Okay guys, so I'm back. Here are all my credit cards that I have, and I can honestly say that some of them I've had for quite a bit of time, like literally since I turned 18. And that would be my Wells Fargo card. Oops, no, I'm good. My Wells Fargo card and my Old Navy card. I've had those both since I was 18 years old, and I say try not to get store cards like I did. But you want to know something? It's okay as long as you know how to manage them correctly. So what I'm going to do is give myself a little box up here. And I'll just do this with you guys on screen. So I am not going to tell you guys how much I owe on my credit cards, but I am going to tell you how much credit I have. I have quite a bit of credit spread out amongst these cards, and that I am using less than 21% of my credit across all of them. So as of right now, I have that much. Like my credit all combined is $2,300 or $23,900, and I'm using less than, I should have used the sign, I didn't think of that, less than 21%. You always want to keep it under 30% if you can. There was one point in my life that my credit was so horrible that my credit score was hovering at like 590-ish, a low 600, and I was using over 98% of my credit, guys. It was a terrible time. This was 7 years ago when my mom passed away. And sometimes those big life events really do kill like budget. I not only lost my mom, I lost my job because I did in-home care for her because she was disabled, and I also lost my health insurance. So with my mom passing, I lost 3 things, and it was incredibly traumatic, not only because it was my mom, but also because at that time my husband was like, me and my husband were both in school full-time. I was working for my mom. I also had like a side part-time job, and my husband was not working at all. We lived off of our credit cards. I would literally pay my credit card, wait for it to post, and go buy gas and groceries. It was horrible. We can say, oh, we're poor college students, but we were older at the same time. We were older. We had a little kid. My son barely turned 2. It was bad, guys. It was really bad. So it doesn't matter wherever you are, whatever the case, it's okay as long as you like try to get a handle on it now. And I know during this pandemic, it has been treacherous for many of us. And I usually hide these kinds of things, but right now I'm just going to be an open book because I know budgeting is tough, and sometimes you have to make a choice, because I've been there. You have to make a choice whether to pay your electricity bill or whether to buy your baby some food. And buying your baby food is always the first choice. Nothing else will come over that. So yeah, been there, done that. I am incredibly grateful that I am not there anymore. Sorry if any of you guys are struggling in those positions, and I really hope that it gets better. But let's move on to my next sheet that I am going to create. This one isn't necessarily a sheet that I need, but I think it's a sheet that is incredibly important. And these are my monthly and yearly subscriptions that come off of credit cards. I never let it come out of my off of my debit account or anything like that. I let it come off my credit card. So I actually have 3 cards that I use that I have monthly expenses coming off of, or not even monthly. Some of these are yearly. So let's get that together. I just want a place where I can write everything. I am really wanting to track absolutely everything that I am spending my money on. It is so important to know where all of the monies are going. And in my house, I handle everything. My husband does not do any of this, and granted, the job he does, it does not bring in the majority of our monies, but it does bring in some. He does online counseling, and he also gives skateboard lessons, so that is great. So with that being said, I'm going to write my 3 cards that these things are coming off of, and it's off of my Discover card. I just abbreviated it. And then off of my Chase card. And then I just started this one, and this just happened to be the card that was in the closest proximity to me when I set it up, but only one thing comes off of this last one, and this card is literally got less than $200 on it, so I'm paying that bad boy off this month. Okay. So I don't know if I think I just might put the date of when it comes off, who it's from, and then how much it is, because like I said, I just want a running total of it, and some of these things I only pay for once a year. Okay, so some of the dates I don't know, so I won't write them down, but I will definitely go back and fill it in. But I want to fill this in with you guys right now. So here in California, in some parts here, we have toll roads. So we went out of town and we took a toll road, and some toll roads, they give you like a couple days to pay it before you get like a big fine or something. So this was one of the credit cards I had on me, so I just did it. And I'm just gonna write toll roads because of course the toll roads amount, the amount is gonna vary. And I literally just took one the other day on the 9th when I'm writing this out. So on 1/9, it was $2.08. Okay, so the next one, which is Chase, which is our biggest one, I'm gonna write all the ones that only two things come out monthly from my Chase, and then everything else is yearly. So I'm gonna write the ones that come out monthly because those are gonna repeat next month. So I have iCloud, and if you guys don't know, my husband is a huge skater along with my son, and I'm gonna just put an M next to it for monthly. And he needs a lot of space on these dang phones, so it's really annoying to have to pay for extra storage, but it's an investment into my son, so I just kind of like suck it up, buttercup kind of thing. But I don't like it, and I wish it was like a yearly subscription so that it would be less. So both of these are monthly, so those are really fixed unless I get rid of Prime, which I'm not gonna do. Next one we have, and I'm gonna try to get these all in one line, we have Disney, and I almost never watch Disney Plus. I got it for my husband and son because they love Star Wars. And this is Visco, I believe. It's photo editing that I use, and that's $19.99 a year. And then I also use Mile IQ, and I use this yearly, and it allows me to just track all my miles for the year. And considering I drive Lyft and Uber sometimes, I need to know my miles because Uber and Lyft absolutely positively do not give you all your miles. If that's something you ever want to do, they do not give you your miles, so you definitely want something else to track those miles. And also when I do in-home care for my brother, I can track those miles and I can write those off at the end of the year as well, which is always a thumbs up. Try to get as much of your monies back as possible, guys. And then my last two are coming off of my Discover card, and this is, we honestly are not as paid off because of the pandemic, and it's just paid off. That's all I can say, and it's nice. And I know that it comes out on, well, I'm not gonna do that yet because it hasn't re-upped. I'm just gonna cross, make a line, and then go to the gym. Why am I writing 25 hours? It is 24. It's 24 hour fitness. I'm really messing up on this one. So this one comes out on the 24th every month for $25. So these are just a few things that I want to track. I might highlight it or something, but I know like all of these ones are paid off and they all start at different times. Like I just re-signed up for the Vasco, like that just came out, I believe on the 2nd of January. So I won't have to worry about that until next year. And my Disney Plus, it just charged me, I believe in November. So I won't have to worry about that. And my Mount IQ won't charge me until the very end of July. So I really know where my money is coming out. Like if that's like not the biggest thing I could stress, if you have things like subscriptions or anything like that, you need to know where they're coming out, what day they're coming out, and how frequently they're coming out, because you just don't want to see crazy charges on your card, and you just want to make sure that you're maintaining, to be perfectly honest. Like you guys can see, like I know like all these things. I know when my money is leaving my account, and I am gonna share this little piece of information, and that is because I've had my identity stolen incredibly frequently. And with your identity being stolen, it doesn't mean that they get into your account and they steal all your money. Last year, I had somebody dip into my debit card and they only spent like $39. That is a form of identity theft. Later in the year, I had somebody take money off of a different card and it was like $119. But because I check my credit cards weekly, all my cards, I check my debit card daily because I like to see when things post, and I check credit cards weekly because I've unfortunately had so much different identity theft happen to me. And last year, 3 times alone before like the middle of the year. And to me, like, because I'm like so on top of it, I know when there's any weird, fraudulent, inaccurate charges, and I bring them up immediately. And then I also have somebody like attempt to steal my like credit card, but I caught it all early. I got all my monies back, and you just got to be on top of it, guys. Sorry if this was like super long and winded. I'm probably not gonna share the amounts with you guys on these, and that is just because it's very personal. I don't want people to know exactly how much money I make monthly and or yearly, but I feel like giving you guys an idea of how much credit I actually have cumulative, and that I'm using less than 21% of that cumulative credit, you guys can see it and get an idea of how you guys can track your information, even if you're using more than like 50%. You want to know something? As long as you're like taking control of it, that's all that matters. Don't feel bad, don't feel embarrassed. And I am no expert. I'm just not an expert in any way. I am still so new to budgeting. This is all so very new to myself. I've only been doing this for about 2.5 years, really taking control of my expenses and really just digging us out of a hole, because we were in a nasty hole that it felt like quicksand that we couldn't get out of. So sorry if this was super long and winded. I just know that these are things that I set myself up with to help me not only pay down my credit cards, but to get me financially healthy. Like sometimes I just kind of let myself go a little bit wild, and then I take complete control, and I'll be so focused and I won't spend no money on my credit cards except for these automatic payments that come out, being on a budget. And I'm just gonna dive super deep into it. So if you like this, you should definitely give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, click the notifications so you'll be notified when I post content. Thank you so very much, and remember to have a beautiful one.